Hey guys, this is Michael with FoodHealing.org, and today I wanted to reach out to you to share with you a couple of new items from Dragon Herbs, as well as show you how to make a tonic that I like. I'm going to show you two different ways about going about it so that it kind of is conducive with everyone's desired outcome. But on to the big reveal. This particular weekend at Expo West, Dragon Herbs launched their new line of some tinctures, and we'll start with astragalus. I've been excited for this one. A couple of these other ones I didn't know were coming at the time, but this one I kind of knew in advance it was coming. And for those of you who know me, know I'm really big on astragalus. My daughter, who is now turning 11 soon, she's been on astragalus since she was a baby. And you know, some of the benefits of astragalus are, you know, they support what's known as upright chi. In a nutshell, if you think about this, when someone's becoming distended, not just overweight, but where their organs are literally sinking out, that's when you're nearing death, right? If we look at the yin-yang symbol, what you know it as today is, you know, the circle with the line through it and the dots, right? The two different colors. But the original yin-yang symbol was two circles with an intersecting line, right? And the idea was that this was the human body in a sense, right? And so as you started to get older and or unhealthy, eventually the line closes. Well, when the line breaks, right, then you're no longer in existence in terms of our physical tangible selves. That's in a nutshell, quick format of that. So let's get back to the point. Astragalus promoting upright chi, it helps keep the organs up, right? It's like an anti-gravity, we'll say, right? It helps kind of keep things where they need to go or help bring them back into balance. It supports the wei chi, which is your defensive energy. You know, it's not actually out here, but it would be like your armor, right? It kind of helps protect you from combatants that are coming at you energetically as well as chemically and so on and so forth. So promoting the wei chi is really, it's very important, right? Especially in our day and age, in this environment and so on. You know, it supports your vitality, and you know, it's got a phytochemical that's known as astragalosides, and astragalosides are, well, again, it's phytochemical, right? So you want as many phytochemicals in your body as possible, plant medicine, right? In the nutshell, we'll keep it as simple and clean as possible. But this is going to help with the spleen, the livers, the lungs, the circulatory system, your urinary tract. It helps to improve frequency, things like this. So this is that's just to name a few things of the benefits of astragalus. So for those of you who are looking for something that's like, all right, I want to get into tonic herbalism, but I don't really want to go, I don't know what I want to do, right? Astragalus, you can't go wrong. For those of you in the cold climate, one of the benefits, again, through what I've already told you, is that astragalus can help you increase your warmth. Now, it doesn't, if you're already a hot person, is this like, oh, I shouldn't have this? No, astragalus is great. One of the great things with Chinese tonic herbalism is that in most cases, in most herbs, they're double direction, right? So if something's too high, it'll bring it down. If something's too low, it'll bring it up. That's, you know, double direction is very important. But astragalus is good for everyone. Like I said, my daughter's been on it since she was a baby, so definitely good to go. She's got good health and whatnot. So the tincture is amazing. You want, you know, connoisseur grade, which is one of the great things I love about Dragon Herbs. Ron Teagarden is one of my teachers, and he's just a quintessential wealth of knowledge when it comes to herbalism, you know, and he's the benchmark of sorts for the whole thing. And his devotion to sourcing is unparalleled. And in fact, it's one of the things that inspires me with my business. I will take something off the shelf if there's something better, or if I can't get that high quality that I'm looking for, it'll just be gone until it's time. And countless times, Ron will take a product off the shelf because they didn't find the sourcing quality that they wanted. So, you know, to me, that speaks volumes. So Dragon Herbs, excellent quality company. I carry a lot of their line, and it's an amazing place to go. But the quality of the astragalus is amazing. I tasted some earlier. Now, I like to savor this, but when you let it sit, it's got this warm, sweet flavor to it. Really, really easy. There's some herbs like one of my favorites, wild reishi, right? Wild red reishi. That's it's a great herb, right? Great for the heart, right? Great for the chi, great for the shen, really. And taking it direct for someone who's not used to taking tinctures, it's a little rough. Someone would be like, "Dude, what are you trying to give me?" You put it into a tonic or into some water, and wild reishi becomes smoother and a nicer taste. But this astragalus always has that sweet, kind of caring, nurturing flavor to it, and so it's an easy one for anyone to use. So astragalus, so yay for this. We do sell it in a powder form as well. Ron also makes an ET, which is a powdered extract as well. This would be an example of an ET. It comes in a powder. Now it does have a maltodextrin in it, but what's nice about what they've done with this is the way that they've extracted it, you get 100% of the efficacy of the herb, and it dissolves instantly into anything. Whereas when I use just the straight powders that we carry for the bulk, those can be clumping when you put them in the liquid, so you got to stir them up and stuff. Whereas this is kind of like instant. So there's pros and cons to the whole thing. But I will tell you, the ETs are amazing in that the way that they have done this fit extraction process. I highly recommend looking into this. The fit extraction process is unparalleled in the herbal world, and you gain all of the efficacy of the whatever herb it is that's being extracted into that. So excellent for that. But astragalus, get it. Okay, that's going to go into a tonic for sure. Hesha Wu. Hesha Wu is a really special herb. So it tonifies the blood and the jing. It's said to turn a gray man's hair back to black. Take it with a grain of salt, because it always depends on how much depletion you have and so on and so forth. But if you grew up on Hesha Wu, the odds of you having gray hair at least premature graying, or even well into your elder years, is drastically reduced. We'll put it that way. There's so many factors involved. You can't say like this is the miracle, right? Because the reality is you have other factors: how you eat, how you live, your stress levels, all those things. They play a factor. But Hesha Wu is magic. It's kind of like, it's a little bitter, but it's also got a sweet flavor to it, almost like a chocolatey aspect to it. I like. It's great for the liver and the kidneys, and it's known for having a constituent called THSG, which is very similar to resveratrol, but it's actually potentially stronger than that. So for those of you who are all on the resveratrol tip, that might be a good option for you for there. In Chinese medicine, it's known as Foti. But Hesha Wu, it's the common name. That's what everybody knows. Go with that. It's great. But it can help with a lot of different other conditions, right? Can help with diabetes, can help with, again, the hair loss, multiple different factors. So I would say Hesha Wu has a magic place because you're going to be nourishing vital organs, right? Nourishing the liver, nourishing the kidneys. The kidneys are the seat of the jing, right? So you got to really take that in. When we're talking about Jing Qi Shen, that's a whole nother spectrum, a whole nother conversation to have. But just in a nutshell, imagine your Jing is like the wax of a candle. That's going to be your life essence, right? Your reproductive self, your sexual vitality, that kind of thing. You only have so much of that to start with. So it's really important how we care for that. And no matter what we do, we're always depleting some. However, if we take in certain herbs that kind of help strengthen, you can support the slowing down of the depletion of Jing, as well as that it's said that things like black sesame seed, different foods that are black, can help to increase the Jing, like as if to recreate it. That's, I think, in my opinion, maybe a little more anecdotal, but I definitely think you can absolutely slow down the depletion of your Jing by using things like Hesha Wu and eating black sesame seeds and getting the available calcium from things like that, you know. Also, so then the chi is your energy, it's your life source, right? It's the air we breathe, it's the food we eat, it's the herbs we take in. Some herbs are more designed by nature to support the Jing versus the Qi or versus the Shen, right? But the cool thing with the Qi is that that's your flame, right? That's the flame on the candle. So the more oxygen rich you bring your environment, the less likely you are to have a need to burn more of the Jing to stay alive, right? Because if we're eating really clean and we're doing breathing exercises and we're, you know, doing things like meditations and stuff, which are definitely leading more towards the Shen and whatnot. However, if we're doing those types of things, then we're able to stabilize our body more. If you ever notice when you take a candle, if you put something over it, moments before it actually dies out, it actually burns hotter, right? Well, if we're not getting enough oxygen, if we're not eating enough good foods, then the body's got to burn hotter, right, in order to deplete, in order to stay alive, in which case it depletes more Jing faster, right? So we want to try and create balance in our body, right? The balance of yin and yang. Hesha Wu, excellent though. You just can't go wrong. It's another one of those simple single herbs. You know, we have lots of formulas. Dragon herbs have things like microcosmic orbit, right? Amazing, especially for those of you doing practices with moving your energy through your body, right? It's a great formula, but it's a lot of herbs, and there's education needs to go into that, and of course there's education. Everyone should educate yourself on all kinds of different herbs and everything that you're taking, right? You should educate yourself on it, but what's nice about doing these single herb type deals is that you can learn about that one thing and you can design yourself a program, right? Okay, I want to get, astragalus sounds good to me. I want to get that in, you know, that's going to help, you know, with everything that we talked about before, right? With the Wei Qi and supporting upright Qi. I want to keep my organs where they need to be, right? I want to be fit and healthy into my elder years. You know, I don't want to be having to be one of those people that has to sit in a nursing home or something. I want to be the person that's, you know, 80 years old and still running and gunning, you know what I mean? So you want to do that by taking single herbs and creating your own function, and then go deeper, right? Because these formulas are amazing and they shouldn't be phased out or anything like that. I mean, Ron just created a new one that I don't have here today, but it's called Super Pill number 3, and there's some more coming down the pipeline. But Super Pill number 1 was like life changing, and then you got Super Pill number 2. Well, now Super Pill number 3, there's some very interesting stuff to talk about on that, but I'm going to do a separate video when I have that bottle in hand, and we'll talk just about Super Pill number 3, so it's going to be exciting. But let's give this one a little taste. Now, I like to take the tinctures and put them directly underneath the tongue. Do you need to do that? No. I hold them in because I want it to get directly into the blood faster. If you take the pills, right, that's okay too, and they'll get in your system, and especially the type of pills that Ron uses, they're vegetable based that actually break down quickly into your body. They don't have a chemical load on them or anything. It's really really clean substrate. But when you take in a tincture, put it in a tonic. It's fine. Take it that way, right? If that's easier. The nice thing with this, again, it's got like almost a chocolatey flavor. It's to me, it's not as bitter as what some people would say. Maybe that's because I'm putting it under my tongue first. I don't know. With any tonic, any tinctures, if you go to take them and you feel like a burn from the alcohol aspect that in the extract, hold it underneath your tongue and then curl your tongue up and then just go and let that exhaust come out, we'll say, right? 1 or 2 times of doing that, and then you get the aromatic flavors, the notes, all the softness of each of the tinctures, and it's magic. So if you want to be like getting deep into herbalism, try it. Take it direct. Get used to that. Let your palate be refined and get that faster response. If you are like, that's great, but I don't really want it that way, put it in a tonic. You know. Incidentally, I'm sure you can see in the video here, I have some tea already kind of prepped. Well, That is just simply using Spring Dragon tea from Dragon Herbs. This tea comes, one little packet makes 3 cups. And if you want it to be a little more bitter flavored and stuff like that, make it into 1 cup. But the more that you kind of spread it out, the more soft and aromatic it tastes. So be aware of that, because some people take one and they're like, man, that was really strong tea. And it's like, well, what did you do? I just put it in a cup. Well, okay, this will do 3, right? So put it in a bigger one and spread it out, you know. You can do this as a cold tea, you can do it as a hot tea. It's great either way. Really soft flavor. And loaded with many different herbs. It does have astragalus. It does have schizandra. It has gynostema and like all these different herbs that are really good for you. It's very cost effective. This is a great way for someone who just doesn't want to do anything but does like tea. Go for this, you know. Do I think this is enough? No, because I have way more than what you see here available to me at all times, and I take them all. I love being a tonic herbalist, and I take it seriously. To me, herbalism is the old medicine, right? It's the medicine that's trusted and rooted. It's rooted medicine, right? It's not about making money. Herbalism is about your health and strengthening your vitality and becoming the sage master, you know. They used to say, or they say that the sage masters, right, who walked around eating, goji berries and schizandra berries and, you know, all this stuff, that, you know, and then practicing qigong and doing different things like this, that their eyes were so white that they glowed, you know, and that comes from balancing your body, right, bringing it in. Well, this is medicine and it's food. Can't go wrong. Okay, back to the point. So, new releases: astragalus tincture, heshawu tincture. Excellent flavors, excellent, simple to go with. Again, we just talked a little bit about it, but for those of you who also want to increase libido a little bit, it's a great way to go too. Sustanch is also amazing for that. Okay, wild Siberian chaga. I love wild Siberian chaga. I find that the flavor of it, I actually use a powdered version often that's kind of grainy from a different company, and I'll put that in there. And I like it because it's almost like having vanilla beans at the end of my tonic, and I get that little crunch. It's like, you know, it's a little giddy feeling. I take the pill form of this all the time, and I do feel tremendously different when I take it. Chaga is known as the king of mushrooms, whereas... well, I don't have it on here, but I do have a little mini. Wild red reishi, I was talking about earlier, is known as the queen of mushrooms. So we got a queen and we got a king. But chaga is, it's Siberian, right? It's from Russia, old birch forest. And it supports immune function, liver health, brain health. And then as a result too, it helps with, like anti-aging, more to the point of giving you that slow, steady age, you know what I mean? Kind of keeping the body functioning. What's great with Dragon Herbs is they do 10-year-old, collection, from wild Siberian chaga. So this is really good. It's really cool looking mushroom. So anyways, chaga. So this one you may find to be a little more strong. Yeah, so wild Siberian chaga, you would most likely find this one a little more bitter. You'll taste a little bit of the initial flavor can be a little bit of the alcohol-y-ish, like an aged alcohol, we'll say. And but if you give it that little swish around, while it has some of the bitterness, you can also sense the almost again, not quite chocolatey, but almost in the direction of a rosé chocolate, right, of sorts. So we'll go with that. But it's good. So some people might not take this one direct if you're not like a serious herbalist. Maybe you're just going to put this in the tonic, but in the tonic it's going to taste amazing. And I encourage everyone to to try these. When I was in my first training with Ron, I was sitting in the front row, and we were going through stuff, and he had brought around all these herbs for us to look at and stuff, and you know, I'm an herbalist at heart, so I said to Ron, I said, you know, can I taste these? And he paused for a second. He said, well, every good herbalist should eat all the herbs, even the ones that might make your belly hurt, you know, so that you can understand the herb, take it in as what it is. And I said, great. So I started eating them, and you know, I'm eating barks and I'm eating berries, and I mean, it was great. But I will tell you, I would say something similar to the fact of, like, if you buy chaga, even if it's not your favorite way to take it, try it that way, you know? It's good. And the afternote, once you get past your potential initial dislike or something, right? It sits with you. It almost leaves a feeling on your tongue like kava. Not numbing as much as kava, but almost like the after effect of when the numbingness of kava goes away, that soft velvetyness. That's kind of what it's like for those of you who are familiar with kava. All right, so moving on. Lion's mane drops. Lion's mane is an amazing mushroom, and up to date, the only tincture version that I have tried that I felt, you know, was a good source in the first place, in an extract, was so alcohol-y that I didn't like it that way. So up to date, I've only sold it as a capsule. But lion's mane is amazing because it helps with mental clarity, it helps with focus, helps with memory and nerve support. Now, take the memory with a grain of salt, right? Meaning that, from my understanding of the research of lion's mane, it's not cumulative effect. Okay, so what that means is it's not like you're going to take this for 6 months and then boom, you're fixed and you never have to take it again, kind of a thing. This is kind of like you're going to be on this, but there is notable difference in nerve ending support and memory function, ease of being able to recall things, and it tastes really good. It's really easy to get in. You will notice a difference over a reasonably short amount of time, actually, for kind of getting that clarity and function. Is this going to be the cure-all if you've got something else going on? Maybe not, right? Does it have the potential of being very helpful? Yes, because it has NGF, nerve growth factor, it has been identified in this. So, you know, that's going to be great to go. And ultimately, you've got you know, just a tremendous amount of overall benefit. My mom is 60. She's gonna be mad at me, but I'm gonna tell you anyways. She's gonna be 69 this year. Okay, and my mom was so stressed at work and stuff. So stress plays a factor in everything, right? She's so stressed, all this stuff. I put her on lion's mane because she was having trouble with memory and all this stuff, and she noticed a tremendous difference in a short amount of time. She also noticed that, again, I mentioned the nerve support. She also noticed that, you know, she's got tight shoulders and stuff because she doesn't really do a lot to take care of herself. But she started noticing that, like, her body started to feel a little better. You know, the numbness in the hands was going away and things like this. So, you know, that's a direct person to me that I had a direct experience with for this. I like taking this anyways. You know, Dragon Herbs also create a formula that I don't have up here at the moment. Oh, I do. I have a mini of it anyways. Diamond Mine. Diamond Mine is different than Lion's Mane, but it is for helping with the memory. It helps actually kind of dial you in and hold you there, you know. So a little different. Both are of value. This is simple and clean, cost effective. Diamond Mine is also simple-ish in that it's got multiple herbs in it, but it is geared for kind of helping with that focus and stuff as well. But Lion's Mane, you just can't go wrong. I was so excited to hear. I have no idea that they were doing this one, so to see this one come out was just epic. Because I have a lot of clients that I know will be grateful for this, because not only for the benefits, but you know, people take a lot of pills, and sometimes you just want a liquid. And you really want a liquid that's going to taste good, even if you don't have time to put it in a tincture. Throw this in your bag, boom, take a little bit, you're good to go. So, how does it taste? It's sweet, not quite as sweet as Astragalus, but it is got a really nice soft flavor to it. Really easy to put in. I think this is another one that anybody would take and not have a problem with. Sweet, light, the most subtle, I dare say bitter, but the most subtle little bitter effect of it. But this is great for brain. So these are the 4 newest releases on the tincture line: Astragalus, Hesha Wu, Siberian Chaga, and Lion's Mane. So awesome. Check them out. I actually will have them on the site in 2 days from today. Today is Saturday, so Monday I will have them on the site and available for purchase. And we always try and give everybody the best price, and so on and so forth. But there is more coming this year, and I will be doing more videos. I'm going to move into the tonic part next, but I do want to introduce you, for those of you who don't know, one of my near and dear tinctures. I carry this with me everywhere. I think in this day and age, this requires me making a note to all of you about it. So I'm going to share this note with you now. What I have in this hand is something called Albizia Shen Drops. This one has been around not only in a tincture form for a very long time, but it has been around and studied for centuries. It is most noted for dealing with Great Depression, severe anxiety, great suffering, right, from a loss of a loved one or something. In this day and age, we're under such high stress, and people are constantly dealing with stress-related anxiety and things like this, right? And there are plenty of good herbs that you can take for that. Albizia is one of those herbs that connects quickly, right? It's one of the few herbs that it responds, you know? It's got a very nice aromatic flavor. It does have a little bit of an alcohol tinge at first, so that dropping it underneath the tongue and then letting it out, it's a great way to go. You might need to do it twice, but then you'll get the notes of the flower and stuff. Tastes amazing putting it into a tonic, or even just a regular tea. Drop it in there, stir it up. It's got a wonderful flavor profile. And of course, when you put it into a hot liquid, the alcohol is dissipated immediately, so it's just the flower extract essence. And but this, everyone should take. It is amazing and is by far one of my favorites for calming, just dealing with stress, man. I mean, it's great. So I suggest drop it underneath your tongue. Take a big breath. Exhale. Let it sit with you. It's still there, right? If it's too alcoholic, just then again. And then when you exhale, let the herb work by, as you swallow it down and you exhale, let go of the stress. Be present. Feel what it can do for you. And that allows you to not be trying to stand in its way so it can do its work, by you surrendering into that moment. Even if it's only for that moment, if you got to deal with whatever the stress is that was causing the problem in the first place, take the time to take the tincture, take the time to let it in. And then you will notice that you just have a calming effect, and it's quick. Albizia Shen Drops, got to do it. I'm going to probably break this into 2 videos. So for the first part of the video, just wanted to again introduce you to, from Dragon Herbs, Astragalus Drops, Hesha Wu Drops. I call them tinctures because that's what they are, but drops is what they call them at the Dragon Drops. So at Dragon Herbs. So Wild Siberian Chaga Drops, Lion's Mane Drops, and this is just worth the note, Albizia Shen Drops, Albizia flower, okay? Excellent source For those of you who are doing your first entry into Chinese tonic herbalism, I hope this gives you a little insight. I'm always available to go deeper, and over time I will make more in-depth videos. Please comment, like, subscribe below, ring the bell to get notified when I do more videos, as well as if you find that you want more on a particular product, let me know. We can talk about it. I'll do another video, go just in on astragalus, so we can go really deep into the facts, a little more about it or something. Okay, bye and hi for those of you who are staying for the long whole video. So, as noted in the previous part of the video, I'm gonna now make a tonic. So I have had steeping, for a little while, a bag of Spring Dragon tea. Remember, this can do three tonics or three tea cups at a time easily. Or if you want it stronger and you just want to get that full profile, just put it into one. In this case, I did one, held it in there. You can kind of see, hopefully on the video, how dark that is. And what's cool about this, I'm going to show you this real quick. One of the great things about herbs like Spring Dragon blends, is it's really, really rich in something called saponins, right? Which is like the soap, and it kind of cleanses the arteries and cleanses down your body as you go, like scrubbing the walls. And that, I think, is amazing because if we go here, I'm just going to go on low for a couple seconds. Okay, check this out. Hopefully you can see. Let me see if you can see this. Okay, you see all the soap? Isn't that awesome? That is health right there. You can't get better. That's just from this. There's nothing else in there. That's just from this. So you can't go wrong with a little Spring Dragon. That's great. If that's all you can afford, it's cost effective. There's 20 tea bags, but it makes 60 cups, right? So you're good to go. Great option. You want to start adding more into it? We talked about astragalus today, right? Astragalus, good, cost-effective. Dragon Herbs recently did a major overhaul of their pricing points and stuff to make it really obtainable to everybody. And, that means benefit to you, benefit to me, benefit to Dragon Herbs, benefit to the world, right? The more that we're on Chinese tonic herbalism with pure products that are elite in status, now you're going to be getting some real change in your body that'll be lasting. Now, I'm making this for me. You can do 1 or 3 dropperfuls. I like to do 3. Sometimes I'll do more. Depends on how much I'm putting in here and what I'm going for the day. Hesha Wu, right? Bring the hair back to black. Strengthen and support the kidneys and the liver, right? You want to do all this. So here is our Hesha Wu. I think the more the merrier when it comes to Hesha Wu. So I would say do at least 3 dropperfuls. Okay? Do you have to do that much? No, absolutely not. I'm a big fan of it. So the more the merrier, right? I got my first gray hair, and the funny part is I wouldn't have had any of it, but I had a major stress response happen, and it's funny, and some people, if you didn't know me, you might not believe me. But those of you who are watching that know me, know that this is a true story. I am very aware of all my surroundings all the time. I'm very aware of what's going on. So I pay attention to my cleanliness of my body and where everything is, and so on and so forth. And one morning I got up, took my shower. I was putting my coconut oil in the hair and stuff and taking care of myself. And, when I scanned my body, no gray hair anywhere. I had a major stressful situation occur, and I felt something like snap inside. I literally felt it. And I got so shaken up, and it created this response. Well, not but 20, 30 minutes later, I had gone to the bathroom, and I went in to wash my hands, and I always see myself, because you should see yourself. You should be able to look at yourself and know who you are, right? And be able to stand and see who you are. And in any event, all of a sudden, I had a gray hair right in the front. So it's not even like it was in a place where it'd be easy to say, oh, you missed it, It was right in front, and it was very, very, like as if someone took a straw and took all the black out of the hair. It was just like that. So that's a true story. Take it with a grain of salt if you want. All I'm saying is that the more Hesha Wu, the better, right? And stress plays such an amazing response on your body and your overall health that you just really got to take the time to take care of yourself, okay? Wild Siberian Chaga. I forgot to mention in the other earlier set, so for those of you who are still watching, you'll get this note. Albizia Shen drops I talked about. It is a Shen stabilizer. Shen is the light that the flame gives off, right? So to complete that cycle, you got your Jing, your Qi, and your Shen. The Shen is your connection to spiritual self, it's your higher plane. It's, ironically enough, not in the head, it's seated in the heart, right? So this is a heart tonic, hence why it balances you out when you're dealing with high stress situations. So we want Shen. I try and make all my tonics be a well-rounded, more or less, Jing, Qi, Shen tonic, unless I'm, maybe going to be sexual or something. I might want a little more extra Jing aspect, or if I really am going to be getting in a state of meditation, I may want more Shen, or if I know I'm being in a stressful situation, I might want more Shen. Different things like this. So it just depends on how you go. Wild Siberian Chaga, I think I already put some in, so I'm just going to go with 2, just to be sure. Again, I explained about this product, and you just can't go wrong with it. Again, when I normally make tonics, I use the powder version, but this wasn't available. Now it is. We'll see how much I use one versus the other. I may just use them both because it's the king of mushrooms. You can't go wrong, right? Speaking of the king, since I don't know where my big bottle is off the moment, I've got herbs all over the place right now. But we're going to go with a little bit of the queen. Wild Red Reishi. Excellent for the heart. Said to help with angina, chest pains, and reversing different types of ailments. As far as that goes, it is part of the cancer protocol in the Conquering Any Disease. Putting it in your water and drinking it all day. Can't go wrong there. Tastes good when you dilute it in water. Okay, lion's mane. Who doesn't benefit from a little extra nerve and memory support? Again, one of my absolute favorites, Albizia Shen drops. I'm going to put 2.5, I think, on this one. Depends on what you're dealing with, right? Use your own judgment. Gauge it out, right? I like a robust tonic, and I like it to have a lot of herbs, and then we're going to go into the part where we disguise the herbs to give you a chocolatey drink, or today I'm actually going to do a little bit of a spin-off that I normally don't do, but I'm going to show how to do this to make it appealing for even coffee drinkers. Okay, this is going to be a great tonic drink for coffee drinkers. Okay, because of that, we're not going to go too sweet. Now, Corellius Immune drops. This is for immune boosting properties. I love this mushroom. Funny thing is, I didn't use it for years, and then when I just last year was reintroduced to it, and I tried it, and it's obviously on my shelf for a reason. I use it all the time. It's really great. Cordyceps. Not complete without cordyceps. So, cordyceps, most of you would know about this. For those of you who aren't herbalists, would know about this because the cordyceps mushroom, which grows super high elevation, the real non-cultured one. It's the air so thin that the people indigenous to that area, they're moving so slow on the ground looking for these mushrooms to pull out, and they are like little horns that come out off the top. In any event, the cordyceps mushroom was noted for in the women's Olympic, on the women's side of the Olympics. I don't remember now. I want to say 2 or 3 Olympic sets ago. But when the Chinese women won like a slew of the gold medals, they went and were researching what they were doing and stuff. And the only change that had been made is that the teacher, the coach, made them take Bhutanese cordyceps mushrooms every day. That was part of their protocol. And so what does that mean to you? Well, it helps with endurance, it helps with strength, it helps with a ton of other variable factors, but excellent to get in. Let's see, what time is it today? All right, so I'm going to keep it simple. You know, again, you could have just blended, just to be clear, you could have just blended just these or any one of these into that Spring Dragon and you'd be set. I'm making a tonic for myself. I'm kind of bringing you in on the journey. I'm kind of feeling my way through it. I also want to keep it realistic to what most of you will have access to. So I'm going to sweeten it with a couple of drops of Guilin sweet fruit. For those of you who may be wondering why you've heard that, you would also know it as monk fruit. Guilin sweet fruit drops is zero sugar, very tasty, works well. And I also want to use a longan. So longan is great for building the blood. And I'll just do 1 dropper full of that. It's almost like a licorice flavor. I'm not a big fan of the licorice flavors, but when I put it into a tincture, or into a tonic, it tastes really good. So, okay, now my water's not quite as warm, so I'm going to heat this one up a little bit, and we're going to top it off there. But first, I want to take some coconut oil. Just mix that in there, okay? I'm gonna let that sit in there for a moment. And then I'm also going to take a little bit of beechwood honey. I like beechwood honey because it has 100 times more antioxidants than green tea. So I think it's 100. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's 100 times. Don't quote me on that one. It's, for whatever reason, my mind's telling me that I need to recheck that. But I'm pretty sure that it was 100 times more antioxidants than green tea. But anyways, excellent source. Weatherspoon makes this, and they make Manuka honey 16 plus. Excellent product as well. You know, plus you get a little bit of the honey. You can use a local honey. There's definite benefits using local honey. I personally, I have local honeys. Honey is great. I have a tendency to not use a lot of local honeys all the time. For whatever reason, I just love beechwood honey and Manuka honey. They've been my go-tos. They have a large health value, and I'm not concerned about the local pollens and stuff as much because I generally don't have allergy responses. I think that's directly related to the way that I eat, as well as the amount of herbs that I take in. I think I'm just fortified. All right, so we're gonna add some hot water into the mix here. In this case, about 4 cups. Is my total drink. I'm now going to take a little, I like chocolate drinks. You could just blend that. It's going to taste amazing, okay? I like little chocolate. So again, we're taking you on. So I'm doing about 1/8 of a cup, I'd say this equates to. Just a little bit of chocolate flavor. I might add a little more, I might add a little less. And since we're going this far, I'm going to use a little Mucuna purines. And we'll do 2 little scoopers. I forget how big this scooper size is, but I'd say that's about a 1/4 teaspoon, maybe a 1/2 teaspoon. So Mucuna purines is like bliss chemical, essentially, right? Kind of like how chocolate is. Mucuna purines is going to help with the dopamine and kind of just bring you into that state of joy. Now, from here, I make tons of different variables of this, okay? So again, we could go over this and we'll make a bunch of different ones. We'll do one with matcha and we'll do one with some of the more other powders that I use. But this one's primarily all dragon herbs with the exception of my cacao is jungle grown Criollo variety cacao. So you can't get any better than that, raw, organic. And then the beechwood honey from Weatherspoon. And then the Mucuna purines. Other than that, it's all dragon herbs products that we got going on in here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and blend this up. Oh, and the coconut oil. I use centrifuged, certified organic raw, centrifuge spun coconut oil. Super smooth, very light. It's what I use in my massage practice, the aspect of the massage practice. And we use it on everything. Use it on the body, use it in the hair, use it on the for cooking. It's great. And because it's so mild, it doesn't have that that heavy coconut flavor to it. So it's great because even if you're making eggs, you don't have to have a tropical dish, you know. All right, so let's tune this up real quick. You could add vanilla bean in here. You could add turmeric in here. That's a great one. I like doing that. Now, one of my friends who's an herbalist, Herbal Tom, he likes to do things on a real slow speed. So like he'll try and go as slow as he can, something like this. One of the great things with this Blendtec blender, it has a slider, so it's not so restricted on speed, and yet it's not as mundane as a Vitamix. Vitamix is great, don't get me wrong, great to use, but you got all these knobs and dials. This is like press the button, good to go, you know? I personally don't mind frothing it up a little bit. So, this by itself, we got some of the saponins going on in here, right? You can see all that. Let's give it a little taste as it is and see where we're at. Yeah, it's very smooth. I personally like a little more chocolate, so I'm going to add a little bit more chocolate. But this, I think anybody would drink it and say, oh, it's really good. You cannot taste any herbs. It's kind of like almost a neutral, balanced, soft chocolatey flavor. And you're getting, you know, the medium chain triglycerides from the coconut oil in there. So you're getting some beneficial fats. You got some bliss chemicals. Adding a little more bliss chemicals into here right now. So I think in total that would make about a 1/4 cup of cacao powder that I've used. Remember, 1 tea bag, approximately 3 dropperfuls of each of the tinctures that you've seen me put in. Say about a 1/2 teaspoon of Macurna purines, and probably a solid teaspoon of the beechwood honey, and then a good heaping tablespoon of the coconut oil. So let's taste this now. Now you can probably see it's a little bit more chocolatey looking already. Yeah, that's much better. I had to bring this one in. My beloved Renee is a coffee addict, and we got her this on one of our trips in Key West, and I don't know that she's ever actually used it because she doesn't drink that much coffee, but it was appropriate. I actually do drink that much tonic every day, so it's kind of, I need one that says, you know, tonic addict or something like that, right? But for those of you, I said I would bring the coffee into it, right? Well, one, you're getting a real boost from all this stuff. But I'm anti-coffee, okay, just to be clear. Because of its high acidic count, plus a lot of the coffees that are out there, you know, there's mycotoxins and different things that are involved in the bean and so on and so forth. And so there's a lot of drawbacks to coffee, even though there are some positives. I never thought that I would say this, but there is a coffee bean that grows in Ecuador on the side of a volcanic mountain. It has a very actually pH balance of a 7.2 acid scale, right? And we sit at about a 7.8. That's amazing because most coffees around around 4.0 to 5.2 ish on the acidic scale, which is very acidic in the body. Renee was a huge fan of Starbucks, and is still a huge fan of Starbucks just because she's very loyal. However, I switched her onto this coffee bean when I found it, and she really liked the flavor of it. Well, what she started to notice was that she had sustainable energy, didn't feel taxed in her body, and still got to enjoy the aromatics of the coffee and the flavor of the coffee. And she does it. She doesn't do a bunch of adding stuff to it, so she does it as I believe it's called an Americano, right? So it's espresso shot with water. I mean, so she's very a coffee person, you know, like real coffee. In any event, now she's been drinking this coffee for a long time, and as a result, when she goes to Starbucks, she can't even finish a whole one because she feels so much better drinking this coffee that we sell on our site, the longevity coffee, that she now primarily only drinks the dark roast coffee that we sell. And just as a going out every once in a while, she goes out with my daughter and they'll do like a hot chocolate and stuff. So she'll have a half a cup essentially of that. And every time she comes back, she's like, I just feel better on the other. So we go through lots of coffee because she is a coffee addict. All right, back to the point. For those of you who are coffee drinkers or like coffee, but also want to dive into this, but don't want to miss out on the coffee, there's some benefits to a clean caffeine. There's some benefits to something that's a high antioxidant. Incidentally, the coffee that we have has a higher antioxidant count than goji berries, which is huge, okay? Goji berries are like here, and blueberries are down here, and the coffee that we carry is like right up here. So that's great. So I'm going to turn on the espresso machine. Well, it was prepped earlier, so we gotta wait just a moment. I was talking so long I forgot all about it. What we're gonna do is we're gonna make a shot of espresso, and I don't think I'm gonna put the whole shot in here. Maybe I will. But the key with espresso when you first pour the espresso is you want to get it in your drink right away. If you're doing coffee, think of it as a similar nature. It's just a little different, but you'll just add a little bit in. It doesn't take much, right? And the idea is you don't want a hard kick coffee anyways. You want to get some of the benefit of it, feel that energy. Most people are drinking coffee for the wrong reasons. Most people are taxing their adrenals and stuff because they feel that they need that caffeine kick in order to function. If you're doing Chinese tonic herbalism, if you're getting Hesha Wu in and you're getting Sistanch and Chaga and Astragalus, all these different herbs, and you're not going to feel like you are lagging or that you need these things. Obviously there's factors, right? You need your rest. You need to do all your nutritional aspects. Let's see if I got this right. Okay. All right, we got some espresso being poured. Point is, take care of yourself, right? And if you want coffee because you like the taste of coffee, then the coffee that we sell at FoodHealing.org will get you there. And we have all these tonic herbs that I'm talking about. Every single one that I'm using, we actually carry, and we carry them at an excellent price. So, and we have a commitment to doing same day or next day shipping wherever possible, as long as we have stock and it's not on a holiday. And obviously, certain things play a factor, but we've done really good at managing that. So, here's our espresso. I don't know if you can see that. So we're just gonna go ahead and throw the whole thing in there. Why not? I'm sure my coffee fanatic in the other room will enjoy some. Okay, so then we're just gonna blend this in real quick. Now, another thing you can do for those of you who want more like a cappuccino direction, take a little walnut milk or some cashew milk, ideally stuff that you made yourself fresh, or some coconut milk, and add that in, and that'll bring up a whole nother profile of flavor to all of this. So now you got the coffee scent, you got this. We're going to add this in here. Let's taste that. Yeah, I'm not even a coffee drinker, and that's it brings up a little subtle coffee flavor to it, which is actually not bad. And then it's almost like making, I'm sure many of you have heard of bulletproof coffee. It's kind of like doing that, because you got the MCT oil in here and stuff, and in its natural form. Spring Dragon, Dragon Herbs, Ron Teagarden. Humble bow to my teacher. Thank you for all the consistent education that I have going on here, and for inspiring me to have what goes beyond this. The wall actually continues on that way, and it's all various different herbs. A large percentage of them are Ron Teagarden's Dragon Herbs products. So excellent sourcing, excellent quality. Hope you enjoyed the video. This should be on YouTube, so if you like it, please thumbs up, subscribe below, hit the bell if you haven't joined us before. This is just the beginning of more videos to come, some shorter, some longer, some about the same. all different categories. We're going to be talking about herbs. We're going to be talking about different superfoods and recipes and all that stuff. So stay tuned. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed the video.